What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate, reverse, ranch, no hate. Now I have to reiterate, okay? People, listen, I don't care how much you like Connor Benn, okay? It's like you guys know, when it comes to me, it's not about who you like. You heard me say the same thing about Alicia Baumgartner. I like Alicia Baumgartner as a fighter, okay? I like Connor Benn as a fighter. But I'm not going to play stupid, and I'm not going to sit here and act like I don't see where the skepticism comes from. Look, I said this in the last video, okay? This video I'm going to make very short. I just want to get to the point one more time. And I want to explain this to you guys real simple. Okay, I thought I did that already. I know I did that already. Connor Benn, okay, when he was getting his criticism about not fighting anyone, then he started stepping his game up, and every step-up fight, it looked just like the fights before, and he wound up punishing these guys. He was knocking everyone out, okay? When he got to that point, now he's getting ready to fight Chris Eubanks Jr. in this catchweight fight, okay. Look, okay? One, he didn't even fully go up to 160. And people that was saying that they don't think it was a safe fight, I was saying it at one point. Like, I don't see the point. Like, why is he going to 160? This guy's coming from 147. You know, like, well, what's the purpose? Right? But if you're going to talk shit and call somebody out, okay, go to their weight class and fight them, right? Okay, y'all point out that, oh, Floyd fought such and such at Canelo at a catchweight, and this one fought such and such at a KO. Okay, well, and Canelo fought a motherfucker at a catchweight too. So, big deal. Big deal. Big deal. Right? The purpose of the catchweight, okay, it serves more than one purpose. Okay, but the honest side of a catchweight is, okay, man, look, that's too much weight for me to gain. It's too much weight for you to lose. Let's find a comfortable weight that we can meet at. That's what it's supposed to be, okay? The downside of it is when someone uses it for an advantage, because even though it's a catchweight, the catchweight may still drain a person, okay? It depends on the individual, okay? And so, like, then you have the catchweight with the rehydration clause, okay? Tank Davis, Ryan Garcia. So, bottom line is, Chris Eubanks Jr. was sitting there talking about he's going to be at 60%. And you understand what I'm saying, all this, and Conor was getting pissed off and everything, and he wanted to beat Chris Eubanks Jr. so bad, and Chris Eubanks Jr. was getting under his skin purposely. You could see how uncomfortable everything he said was bothering Connor Benn. Connor Benn pops dirty. Okay? Y'all gotta understand this. He pops dirty. And basically what they found in his system was what? A women's fertility drug. And he showed an attitude because people was, calling him a cheat. Remember the comment now. I hope that the apology is as loud as the disrespect. Then all of a sudden he goes from saying he's innocent, he didn't do anything, and in terms of the women's fertility drug, we never got any real clarity. Like, what the fuck were you, like, what's going on? Right? Okay. Basically just denied things. Then all of a sudden he comes up with he ate 30 eggs. So which is it? They didn't say anything about eggs. Okay? They said nothing about your cholesterol. They didn't say nothing about protein, whatever. No, they're talking to, okay, nobody said anything about freaking eggs. He did. He ate 30 eggs. Okay. Bottom line. Okay? Even if you ate 30 eggs, how is what they found in your system inside a woman's fertility drug, right? So his story wasn't adding up. All right, and the constant attitude and arrogance and acting like he don't know why people are looking at him that way. You have to understand, you failed your test. Okay, what they found in your system had nothing to do with 30 eggs, but 30 eggs was your excuse. Where's the explanation about the woman's fertility drug, right? Okay. Time goes by. We never hit the guy's cleared. Eddie Hearn is under scrutiny as well. Then Conor Benn, next thing we know, we hear he has a fight. So people are like, man, he should never fight again. This dirty bastard. People wasn't trusting in him. Then you have people that did believe in him and say they don't think Conor's that kind of guy. Okay, we don't know that. We don't know that he is. We don't know that he isn't. Either we believe he's guilty or we believe that he's not. First fight back, you notice he don't look jacked like he was. He's not all ripped up and cut up like he was. The thick, bulky muscle, gone. Fight goes the distance. Oh, man, but you got to understand, it's a ring rust. I haven't been in the ring in X amount of time and this and this and that. Okay, Conor, but the type of guy you fought, normally you knock him out. And you don't look the same. Fast forward. He fights again. Same exact thing. I've never in my life heard of Peter Dobson. Didn't know anything about him. I watched him, and based on his performance, I rank him a C-class fighter. Conor Benn says the guy didn't come to fight, he came to run. No, he didn't run. He just he doesn't have an aggressive style. He likes to be a counterpuncher. He likes to wait, and then, when you stop, he starts. Okay? But he doesn't throw a lot of punches. Okay? He's not consistent. And I feel like he got started too late. He got started too late. Should have been busy earlier, but he's trying to feel Conor out. But again, C-class fighter. Conor couldn't knock him out, and Conor struggled, right? Conor won the fight. Don't get me wrong. He won the fight. But Conor went in there, and he struggled and couldn't get this C-class guy out of here. Now, because you're a C-class fighter doesn't mean you can't take a punch. Okay? But Conor Benn, he can box. He can fight. The guy can fight. But you can see he's so reliant on that power that when he doesn't get the guy out of there, he gets careless. He gets caught with shots that he shouldn't get caught with. And you can see his vulnerabilities. This is exactly why Tank Davis is agreeing to fight him. Why? He sees something in Conor that he feel like he can exploit. It's as simple as that. And Conor not being able to get the knockout works against him against another top-level fighter. Simply because this guy relies on that power. And he doesn't go into boxing mode. He's a boxer-puncher. So he goes into this, I still want to knock you out. And when you look for the knockout and you fight a guy crafty enough, you can wind up getting up off the damn floor yourself. So I'm watching him, and I said, okay. And at this point, the way Tank's been carrying himself, if he's fighting Conor, it's because he spotted weaknesses. Or at least what he sees as a weakness. And I see the holes in Conor's game is him relying on that power. And he gets irresponsible on defense at times. Okay? And he also gets to the point where he falls asleep. You've seen it. Okay, so now, what happens when he's in there with the guy that can take his shot? Or he can't land a shot flush like he needs to? What's he going to do? Right? So Conor doesn't understand why people are looking at him like that. You come in this fight the same way. You look a little flat physically. You don't look, you look smoothed out, kind of skinny. Where's all that bulky, rocky muscle at, right? And again, the fight goes the distance. You don't think that shit looked just a little bit suspect? You understand what I'm saying? Now, if Conor would have came in there and did these last two guys the same way he did everybody else, okay, then even if people still think he was dirty, okay, whatever. The point is he's back in the ring and he's fighting, right? But nobody can say anything other than, okay, well, shit, came back still knocking people out, right? All right. Can't say that about Conor now. So, yeah, that looks real suspect. Okay, and the fact, the way he reacts, like, it's like sometimes, just imagine, like, if you have a place like where I'm at right now, you have all these food places to eat, right? But then you got sections where it's kind of dark. No, if I'm going to sit out here and eat, I'm going to go to where the light is. Why? So I can be seen. Police drive through here, checking everything out. You tucked away in the dark in the corner. Just might make them look like, okay, what are these guys up to over there, right? Now, what are you doing? Just eating. Am I breaking any laws or rules? No. But you know what? I don't even want that type of attention. So let me come sit in the light. I don't need to sit in the dark. I'm not hiding from anything, right? So, you just do things accordingly. So there's no suspicion. Now, if I'm sitting here in the light, all these other cars around, all these other people around, what am I doing suspicious, officer? Okay, because I'm sitting here amongst many people, sitting here eating or doing a video or whatever. What's the suspicion? Just because you're sitting in the dark doesn't mean you're doing something wrong, but you guys understand my point. Certain things you just eliminate. Do things accordingly so you can just push as many headaches away as you possibly can. So, again, I understand how they think. So it's like, nah, I'm not going to put myself in that position. So for Connor, yes, for you to get upset and get angry because people think you're a cheat, well, hey, that's not going to make people believe you're not because you get angry. If anything, it turns them off. And, Connor's always been like really cocky and really arrogant. That turns people off. Now, I like him as a fighter, but I never cared for his attitude, like his temperament. I don't get along with arrogant people. I never have. I've always wound up, the people who I've any issues, beef, it's pretty much, I don't get along with arrogant people. And he's like very super arrogant. Like he act like people owe him something. Like he always have like a chip on his shoulder. Every interview you see him on, he's angry, like he's pissed off. Like for what? So now for people to see you fail a drug test and you come up with 30 eggs, and I mean, come on, all these different stories, and then acting like people owed him an apology. Like we should just believe you because you say. So that's where Conor Benn, not looking physically the same, and now 2 fights in a row since he failed this test, goes the distance. Come on, y'all. Like you gotta understand, this dude was. Go look at his fights before his to his last fight before the Chris Eubanks junior fight was supposed to happen, and you see the difference. Like, yeah, the guy was crushing people, man, and you just don't see that happening right now. So, just saying. And for that matter alone, as a grown man, you got to understand, you look like a guy who's not dirty anymore. You can fight. You see that he can go the distance, there's no problem. There's nothing wrong with his stamina or anything, but that power is not what it was. That power is not what it was, man. And so, yeah, I mean, you go back and you look at, go pull up this guy, man. Like, and the fact, like, Conor sitting there saying that the guy he ran, he wasn't trying to fight back. You come from Brooklyn, come from the Bronx and all. I'm thinking he's going to do the Bronx proud. That dude didn't run from you, Conor. You just couldn't knock him the fuck out. And that's what you're trying to make people believe, is that, oh, I didn't knock him out because he didn't come to fight, he came to survive. No, that's his style. That's what I do when I don't know a fighter. I'll go watch some old fights or something and try to familiarize myself with what they do and how they do it. And no, that's just his style. That guy didn't run from you, man. You're going to tell somebody how to fight you. No, you just couldn't knock him out. And that's all it was. So, Conor Benn, that'll be a disgrace to you if you fight Tank Davis and lose to him, man. That would really be a disgrace. And if he loses to Tank Davis, people going to say, wait a minute. This dude fought a motherfucker coming from 130 to 135, went to 140 once, jumps all the way to 147, and this motherfucker just beat Conor Benn. And the point what I'm saying is, people going to say, he definitely was juicing, man. See, he definitely was juicing. How the fuck was he knocking all these people out, then he lose to Tank Davis? Just saying. So, yeah. Yeah. Conor Benn needs to understand that you are in a position where the people watching you, your attitude and that arrogance, yeah, you already made people not like you with the way, your attitude, that arrogant ego of yours, but to act like people should just take your word, like who the fuck are you, man? You say you didn't do, anybody can say they didn't do something, and then, like I always say, it sucks for anybody if you're actually innocent in a situation, but you look guilty, and nobody believes you. But, you know, you're in a sport, man, where you have to be very careful of what you put in and on your body. And too many fighters have failed in drug tests. And, you know, unfortunately for you, you didn't get what Alicia Baumgartner is getting in terms of, you know, she's innocent, but she's suspended type situation. No, like at least people, you know, she came out talking shit about Clarissa Shields, and basically, you know, that took people's mind off of the whole, but she failed the test and she cleared type situation. She knew what she was doing. Unfortunately for you, that never happened. So it doesn't make a difference. So when you start yelling other fighters' names and trying to get people to forget what happened to you or what you did, you know, what situation surrounds you, it doesn't always work like that. And so you need to understand that, man. Like, it's best really, like don't worry about, like, certain questions that people ask. That's the thing about these reporters. Reporters love to ask questions to try to, like, bait you. And they'll sit there and talk to you like they're just doing a good story on you. And then they'll stab you in the back. They love to go stir the pot. So certain things, man, is like, listen, you know, does it hurt a fighter to say, hey, listen, man, the dude came and he came to fight. He was tough. I'm cracking this dude, and he stood up to my punches. You know, you saying he came to run, we saw what happened. Dude didn't come in to run. He didn't run. And the truth is, you're in a position with, no matter what you say, you're always going to have trolls. But at least for those who are real out there, yeah, the guy just admitted it. Like, no, nah, the dude he was able to stand up to my punches. That's all. But you saying he ran, he didn't run, man. So again, it's like you're saying something to make yourself not look bad, but everybody saw what just happened. So my whole thing with that is, man, you know, you fought a guy, and like I say, just because you don't know somebody doesn't mean that they're not good. But when I saw Peter Dobson fight him, and then I watched, listen, I ranked him a C-class fighter the way he fought Conor. See, Conor is a good fighter, but Conor does have his holes. The difference was he was knocking people out. So it's like, okay, cool. If you can't take a shot, he'll get you out of there. But he shows you if you can take a shot, even though he can go to 15 rounds, he gets careless, he gets sloppy, he's there to be hit. And he does a little too much in a very careless way. His carelessness can cost him. And believe me, Tank Davis' little ass, who sat here and said that, why would I go to 140 and fight? I'm not a stupid fighter, man. Like, I'm going to go to 140, give him a chance to go rehydrate up to like 160, right? Talking about Ryan Garcia, right? Old Black Santa Claus, what's his name? Leonard Ellerby done sat here and said, his little red shirt, his bald head and beard, talking about how, you know, Tank Davis is too small for 140, basically. He can still make 130 if he wanted to. Goddamn, now you're going to fight Conor? As I said in a previous video, for him, Tank Davis, to want to fight Conor Benn is because he see weaknesses and he see less of a threat than Devin Haney. You better believe it. There's no excuse for this man to not fight Devin. So yeah, Conor Benn, you know, look, man, the dude is a good fighter, but let's be real, that power isn't there. And I don't see how anybody can feel like a person is exaggerating or overreacting because they feel like, yo, listen, ever since you failed that test, you come back, like I said, you don't look the same physically and you haven't been getting these knockouts. If you don't think that that's suspect, you guys have just kind of been fanboys and you just don't want to admit the truth. But that's what you got to look at, the facts. He doesn't look the same physically. He's not getting the knockouts, and he's throwing them shots with everything. So, just saying, y'all, make that make sense. Make that make sense, man. And let's just be honest. Not one of you motherfuckers watching this video knew who no goddamn Peter Dobson was. I've never heard of no damn Peter Dobson, man. Like never. You know, then again, I never heard of Ben Whitaker, and he's a hell of a fighter. But bottom line, okay, there's a difference. I watched them both fight. One guy has a promising future. The other guy's, you know, C-class. Not that he can't improve, but, you know, not someone you think that Conor Benn would struggle with, right? Those type of guys are handpicked to make guys look spectacular. And he definitely didn't look spectacular. So, just saying, y'all. Gotta be realistic. Conor Benn has to be realistic, man. You can't explain anything. You only can do what you can only do what you can do. You can't explain and talk for your opponent, you know. But don't tell us things that we like our two eyes don't work. We know what we saw, man. That guy was not running. Like I said, you just couldn't get him out of there. The last guy, was he running? Was he running too? So, you know, but it looked like it's going to be him and Tank. Now, he's calling Tank a shrimp, calling him short and all that. Okay, you better not go in and get your ass knocked the fuck out. I mean, if after all the shit kind of Benn has been through, if he goes and loses the Tank, man, that motherfucker is going to have a long climb back uphill to try to get back. Because he really, what's left? If he gets knocked out by Tank, who the fuck want to see him fight Boots? Who wants to see him fight Terrence Crawford? And you know what's so crazy? We've been talking about Crawford and Boots. Keith Thurman and Crawford. Keith Thurman and Boots. You know, Conor Benn's name hasn't even been coming up. Like people don't even remember he's at 147 as well. His name is not even coming up. So when his name does come up, he's agreeing to fight a fucking 135-pounder. So, y'all tell me. Talk to me in the comment section. Never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings hate out of people, and I will catch y'all on the next video.